Hey everybody, it's Justice for Comics. It is Wednesday, New Comic Book Day, the 14th of August. I'm going to be highlighting comic books that are coming out next Wednesday, the 21st. So let's jump into it with some early releases, and I'll also show you some things I got in the mail here. So this is a grail of mine that I've been after and kind of looking at for a long time, checking eBay prices, kind of looking for a really nice grade copy. The CGC 8.5s, 9.0s or higher are definitely in the higher price range. If you're 9.2 or above, you're definitely going to be paying some really good pricing on that. So I thought I'd highlight this. I love this book. First appearance of Bullseye. A fantastic Bronze Age book, came out in 1975, so this book is almost as old as I am. Yeah, so I'll kind of pull it up so you can kind of see. No major creases. There's one little crease in the corner that just barely breaks color. No chipping, no major chunks out of the book or anything like that. A little blunting on this one corner. The other three corners look really good. Colors are really nice and dynamic. Beautiful coloring. This book definitely was stored properly, that kind of thing. No spine ticks to speak of. There's a couple little, maybe I would call them spine slight dents, very tiny, but no spine ticks. So that's one of the things I always look for in a comic book is I don't like to see any spine ticks on my book if I can help it. Now, if you're buying a really old book like an old Silver Age or a Golden Age, that's certainly more acceptable. But a Bronze Age book, I'd like to own like a very fine to very fine plus, maybe near mint minus range. So looking at this book, there's little surface stuff that definitely could be pressed out. So I'm thinking about buying a comic press, and this would be a definite book that I would look to be, try to press myself and get it really, really perfect. But if this book was pressed, I think it could come out at an 8.5 to a 9.0. I think as is condition right now, it's probably 7.5 to 8. So I would say I would put it in a VF, very fine condition for sure. Maybe very fine plus. I don't know. I'm sometimes a little too critical. When you look at this book, it doesn't look like there's too many flaws on it. It definitely is in pretty damn good shape. So yeah, I got a good price on this book. I think I paid definitely $50, $60 lower than it normally should go for. So. Bullseye is going to be coming out I think it's in a Netflix run. He's going to be coming out in Netflix. So, this book could get some heat on it. I think eventually you could see him in a major Marvel Cinematic Universe movie. I think he's a great character, a great villain. One of the best Marvel villains, I think, is Bullseye. A lot of people forget about him, but yeah, I just think that's a really good grail. That's one of my grails, one that I've been after for a long time. Finally got it. Another book that I got in the mail, I've been buying these Gerald Perel covers. This is Red Sonja number 3. This is a Kirby's art comic exclusive. There's only 500 of these produced. It's a virgin cover. Really nice cover by Perel. I just like his artwork. I just think he does a great job. And there's only 500 of these. I got a decent price on this. These sell on eBay definitely more than I paid. So, if you really dig and find the sites that are selling these, the prices on eBay are the people buying it from the site and then reselling it on eBay. So, I don't plan on reselling this. I definitely want to keep this. I've got the first issue number 1 and 2 of Perel's artwork. So, yeah, it makes a nice set. I got basically all 3. I don't think he's doing any more, not to my knowledge. So. Yeah, it makes a nice set to have, for sure. So I also swung by my local comic book shop this morning and picked up a couple extra copies of Once and Future number 1. This is the Boom Studios comic that has a lot of heat on it. This was selling end of last week pre-sale for about $20. I think you can pick it up on eBay right now for about $15, maybe a little bit higher with shipping cost, but definitely a great looking book. Started reading the first couple pages and I was already impressed with it. I like the writing. I think Carrie and Gillian does a great job in writing, and the artwork, Dan Moore's artwork's fantastic. So Dan Moore did the artwork for Claws by Grant Morrison. So that was a really good series too. So that series didn't take off that much, but I think this one definitely has the potential to do that. So make sure you grab that if you're at your local LCS. And they had plenty of copies. The store I went to kind of knew that was going to be a hot book, so they had a lot of extras on the wall. While I was there, I kind of also ran into an interesting thing. Reaver #1, second printing. I've heard this book is starting to get some heat on it. The print run on this is pretty low, and it's kind of a cool cover, so I saw it there. There was only a couple copies on the wall. As far as I know, it came out today, so the shop, I don't think the store ordered that many copies. I do think the print run on this is pretty low, so yeah, I was glad to pick that up. Second printing of Reaver #1. By the way, Marcus was kind enough to send me Reaver #1 first printing. I didn't pick that up originally. It was sold out. So I have that book because of Marcus, which is really nice of him to do. Another book I picked up was Scream, a rather Absolute Carnage Scream #1. This is the Dodderman, Russell Dodderman variant, which sold out on Midtown very quickly. This was the first issue to sell out on Midtown. I checked on eBay. Yeah, it's going for like $8 to $10, so it's not like it's blown. It's not like it's a $20 book or anything. It's just kind of a cool looking cover. This is supposedly a first appearance of the new Scream, so I'm interested in reading it and seeing what it's all about. And I figured for cover price, it's not a bad pickup. The last thing I picked up, at the store, which was really cool, I got a little lucky on this, is Knights Temporal #1. This is the Incentive, the 1 in 10 Nat Jones cover, I believe. And this book was selling for $20 on Midtown. I picked this up for cover price at my local shop. So once in a while you get lucky with that kind of thing. I remember one time I picked up a 1 in 25 Incentive cover, and it was a really beautiful cover by Delato. And, eBay, it was $25, $30 right away for that book, and I picked it up for cover price. So once in a while you get lucky. Either the shop didn't know that it should have been priced higher. I don't know. Sometimes that happens, but I just brought it up to the counter and they gave it to me for cover. So, I think I looked on eBay. This is $10 to $15 range for this book. So I know Midtown was trying to get 20 for it. So, and it did sell out. So it's a nice cover. Definitely a pretty cool cover. All right, guys. So let's jump into books that are coming out next Wednesday. This is going to be a little bit of a long video just because I was also incorporating a comic book haul at the same time. So first off, for Dark Horse, I do like that Aliens issue #2, Aliens Rescue #2 cover. That is a really nice cover. I mean, if you're into the Alien comic books, that's definitely a fantastic cover. I like it way better than the B cover. B cover's, I'm not impressed with the B cover. But yeah, so for Dark Horse, that was the one that I thought looked interesting. The rest of them, not really following. The Strayed cover, there may be some heat on that. I don't know. It involves cats. I have 2 cats, but I don't think I want to read about them in a comic book. So I'm not too sure about that book, but a couple of channels saying it's a good book. I don't know. I'm gonna probably hold off on that one. Aquaman. So for DC, Aquaman #51. You got a nice Middleton cardstock variant. Believe I pre-ordered that. So $4.99 price tag. Definitely is a little expensive, but certainly a beautiful cover by Middleton. Does a good job on that one. Definitely must own for me. I pre-ordered this book, Batman 232, the facsimile edition. That's one of those books, Silver Age. Well, Neil Adams, I don't know. That might be Bronze Age. I don't know. I think it's Silver Age. So late Silver Age, early Bronze Age. It's debatable. comic book, first appearance of Ra's al Ghul. Definitely, you know, original of this is very expensive. You're in a high grade, you're looking at, you know, $1,000 plus for that book. So I'll take the facsimile. I think that'll be nice to have in the collection, a nice reprint of that book. Batman 77, I don't think I'm going to pick this book up. I didn't pre-order it. The Clayton Crane cover, I didn't even know that was Clayton Crane until I saw the name down there. It just, I don't know. I think he half-assed that one. I think he dialed that one in. The Tony Daniel cover is not too bad looking, but I've just sort of not been into Batman lately. I believe I pre-ordered this Black Mask, Year of the Villain #1. Cool looking cover. Just thought I'd give that a try. We'll see if that's any good. Didn't pick up a lot of DC books though, to be honest. Definitely not been picking up Superman Year One. I don't like the artists on that, and Frank Miller, he's very hit and miss. So not a lot of DC books. Teen Titans 33, I think that might be the only book I pre-ordered. I think I might have either done the A. I can't remember if it was the A or the B cover. There's the A cover, pretty nice. And you got a nice Alex Garner cover for the B cover. But I'm interested in, you know, the further development of Crush and the relationship with Lobo there. So that one might be a good pickup. That was it for DC, though. So light week for DC. Not really much there that I was interested in. For Dynamite Entertainment, yeah, I don't think there was anything there that... I mean, I read Sonya, Vampirilla. Just not really been picking up some of the... I picked up some nice covers from issue #1 of those titles, but just not really into reading it on an ongoing basis. IDW, Kanto #1. You've got a third printing of #1. I'm going to pick up all the printings, at least one copy, so I grab that. There is a second printing of issue #2 that might be worth picking up. And then you've got issue #3 premiering the A cover, which is nice. And you've got the incentive cover by Corona. Corona is the gentleman that does the artwork for Middle West. So nice cover. I like the cover, definitely. $20. I'm picking it up just because, I don't know, it's might be one of those things where I'm picking it up for $20 and next week on eBay it's on there for, you know, $15 or less. That definitely could be the case here. It does seem like the prices have been coming down on Kanto. That Kanto #1 incentive cover was like a $75, $80 book at one point. I saw it on eBay today for like $35. So, you know, the prices have definitely been coming down on this title. So I'm on the fence. For now, I'm deciding to pick up the incentive #3. Be nice to have, you know, the incentive set. I know it's a 6-issue run. Be kind of nice to have all the incentive covers if they do it for every cover. I don't know, but so that does it for IDW. I didn't see anything else that I really had to pick up there. So moving on to Image. Middle West #10, I pre-ordered that book. It's been a great title. I like the writing of Scotty Young, and the artwork of Corona is excellent. So that's a must-buy for me pretty much every month, but I pre-order that from Midtown. Weatherman, I've not been collecting Weatherman, but I do like that Stephanie Hans cover for cover price. I mean, usually when you buy a Stephanie Hans cover, you're having to pay incentive pricing. So to get that up, to pick that up for cover price is kind of nice. So that I didn't pick it up, but that's one of those ones where I almost pulled the trigger. I'm spending a lot of money lately, so I've got to be very, very picky. It's one of those deals. Absolute Carnage, second printing. I don't know. The second printing is still going to be pretty heavily printed, so I don't think I'm going to pick that up. But for Marvel, what else? Daredevil #10. A cover by Tedesco is really nice. You've got a nice villains cover by Jung Gung Yoon. I probably butchered his name, but pretty nice cover. Elektra and Daredevil, very nice. You've also got Daredevil Annual #1. A couple different covers here. I think I like the Tyler Christopher connecting cover the best. Kind of cool. I like that. Very nice. Fearless #2, I believe I pre-ordered that. A cover by Putry's nice. I like that Storm. Image of Storm's pretty cool. I didn't pick up the Frizzen cover, although that's nice as well. I just went with the A cover on that one. Ghost Spider I'm not picking up. I did buy the incentive cover by Shannon Mayer, so I'll be getting it from one of the online stores. If you're into N-Hook Lee, he's got a nice cover there on Guardians #8. Pretty cool. Moving down the list here, they're not showing me what the second printing of Immortal Hulk 21 is, but I know there's been a lot of people buying pretty much all the incentive covers. I don't know. I like Andrea Sorrentino, so I'm not too sure what the cover looks like. I'm going to pick it up just because I really like Sorrentino as a cover artist. So, yeah, it's second printings. I don't know. I'm one of these people that think it gets a little ridiculous. But Marvel's definitely well known for it, right? Where they just printing after printing after printing. If they can keep selling it, they will. So, I don't know. Immortal Hulk's definitely been a good run. Some of those second printings could be valuable to have at some point. So that's one I'm going to pick up and see if it works out. We'll see. I like Sorrentino, though, as an artist. Marvel Comics Presents #8. Probably a little bit more detail on Wolverine's daughter. So looks like the B cover sold out already in Midtown by Sandoval. Yeah, probably a little bit better than the A cover, but that's sold out. Powers of X #3 is out this week. Remember, that's a weekly title, so yeah, it's the problem is it just gets expensive. You get a book every week coming out. So if you're a big X-Men fan, it's awesome. If you're an X-Men fan, which I am, but don't want to buy a book every week, it just gets a little bit much. If I had to pick a cover, though, I think this Huddleston variant's really nice. That's pretty nice. And this one might be also pretty good to get. New character cover, Dustin Weaver. That one's pretty nice. But yeah, those are the two I like out of the several that are listed. If you missed Silver Surfer Black #1, this is not a bad deal, getting a regular A cover signed by Donny Cates. So, yeah, that might be a good pickup for $4 if you missed getting it the first time. Probably better than buying a second printing or a reprint. And you get it signed by the writer. That's pretty cool. Let's see what else here. I think I'm getting done with Marvel, I believe. So let's move into independents. Definitely a couple independent books out this week that look interesting. Bad Reception #1. I don't know much about this book. I read the premise. It sounds like there's a serial killer that is hunting people and they don't have good cell phone or Wi-Fi reception. I don't know. That could be interesting. Aftershock Comics, some of their books get some heat on them, but I noticed neither of them are sold out yet on Midtown. So I don't know. That could go either way. That might be one that's interesting. Blade Runner #2, Blade Runner 2019 #2. Nice Christian Ward cover. And I like the fact that they have that Christian Ward cover in a Virgin available for cover price. So I'm grabbing that just because I like that cover. And yeah, I mean, I got the first issue and wouldn't mind having a second issue as well. At least the first couple issues. I usually like to get the first 2 issues of a book just to try it out, see if it's any good before quitting on it. Dead End Kids #2. Limit one per person, of course, sold out already on Midtown. So hopefully you had that on your pull list. I'm sure that will be a $10 to $15 book out of the gate. Issue number 1 was fantastic. The writing is good. The artwork's decent. Definitely one of the biggest hits Source Point Press has been able to come to market with. Definitely has a TV show written all over it. Netflix, Hulu, one of those streaming shows will probably pick it up. Yeah, number 1 still going for $25, $30. So yeah, it's definitely a book that make sure you got that on your pull list, in my opinion. See what else. I don't think Goon number 4. It's a good read. Definitely some humor to it. Eric Powell does a great job. If you like Scotty Young, you've got a nice Scotty Young cover for just $1 more. Not too bad. So that might be worth grabbing. Headless number 1. I don't know much about this book, but it's sold out on Midtown already by Scout Comics. They usually have pretty low print runs. So I don't know, you kind of see this trend, right? Like dead end kids. So here's 4 kids. You know, one of them looks like a badass. You know, there's usually a girl involved. You know, this is kind of a cookie cutter formula. And it's sold out, so I wouldn't be surprised if this book heats up. Who knows? I don't know much about it otherwise. Horror Comics number 2. I picked up the first issue. I don't know if I'm going to pick up the second one. The writing, I didn't think the writing was that great in the issue number 1. It was mediocre. Didn't make me want to really buy number 2. Unlike Ice Cream Man. If you want a good horror comic, Ice Cream Man's the one to buy, in my opinion. That one is excellent. Love She Offered number 2. Of course, this print run must be low. I mean, it definitely must be low because it's sold out. I mean, I'm on top of things, and when I pulled up Midtown, it was already sold out. So that might be one to have on your pull list if you like that. I didn't pick up the first issue. I kind of passed on it. Yeah, it's going for like $20, $25, so there's definitely people buying it. I think that might be, the last one, Planet Caravan number 1, another Scout Comics book. The artwork looks kind of interesting in this one. Again, sold out on Midtown, so that could be a book that you might see some heat on. Probably a low print run. If you can't get it on Midtown, don't be surprised that you might be able to get it on Scout Comics website. Scout Comics tends to have a supply on their online store. So if it sells out at some of the online places like Midtown or My Comic Shop, you might be able to pick it up at Scout Comics on their website. So keep that in mind. Psycho Test number 1, Black Box Comics. I've not heard of this publisher. I'm not too familiar with it, but it is sold out on Midtown. So that might be one to keep on your radar. I think that might be it. Yeah, let me just move through the list here. Yeah, I think that's it, guys. The rest are graphic novels and trade paperbacks. So that's kind of what I had. This video is a little long, 23 minutes, almost 24 minutes already. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell for notifications. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Please like and share my videos. That's kind of how I grow my channel. I just crossed 450 subscribers the other day, so I think I'll get to 500 maybe within the next week or two. So you guys are definitely helping me with that. I get a lot of comments from people that really, really enjoy my channel, and they share it with other people that they are in the community with. So I appreciate you guys doing that. I'm going to try to be on a live podcast or a live stream rather with Jim's Comics. Maybe next week. This week he was a little too busy, but maybe I can get him to do that with me next week, or at least maybe once in the next couple weeks. But I'm going to try to get it done on his channel. I'd like to be on his channel doing the live stream because he's got 7,000, almost 8,000 subscribers, so that'd probably be very good exposure for me if I was on his channel. So Jim's Comics, if you're watching this video, please let me be on a live stream with you. I would love to do that. We had a good time. We did one on my channel, and we had a fun time talking about comics, and yeah, it was good. And I had a lot of good positive feedback from it. So I'd look for that. Maybe I can get Jim. Maybe I can twist his arm enough to do it. We'll see what happens. All right, guys. Also, look for another video from me on Friday for sure. I reviewed the CBSI top 10 list. And also there will be a live stream that I'll be doing with Just a Rican and his comics. I think that's going to be August 25th, which I believe is a Sunday. So it's not this coming Sunday, but the Sunday after. So we got some time yet, but he's been kind enough to invite me on his live stream channel. I usually tune in and hear the guys, and I definitely think I could add value to their format. I know a lot about comics, and I usually get people talking about stuff, and I like to crack jokes and be funny. So I think I will only help them if they, which they will. They're going to let me in on their live stream. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. But Comic Jabroni, John and his kids' comics, I think it is, and also Perry's comics. Usually those are the 4 guys that are on there. So I don't know if they're going to make it 5 or if they're going to boot one of those guys off. I don't know. Maybe one of them's out of town or something, so maybe I'm just a pinch hitter. All right, guys, appreciate your support. Look for my next video tomorrow or definitely on Friday, and I'll talk to you soon.